Hello everybody, this is an astrological forecast for Taurus for July of 2012, and this also applies if you have a Taurus ascendant. So my dear Taurians, this month Mercury, the planet of communications, of travel, goes retrograde on the 15th of July until the 7th of August, and it's happening in your 4th house. So for the first couple of the weeks of this month, I would recommend that you get any paperwork dealt with that's important. So anything that needs to be signed, if you're going to move into a new house, if you're going to buy a house or sell a house, or deal with any legal proceedings or tax situation, try to get all these important meetings, interviews, job interviews, try to get them done at the beginning of the month. Because after that, the second 2 weeks of the month, there may be little glitches with travel, with communications. Very often retrograde means that you have to repeat something. So you end up doing something once, and then when Mercury goes direct, you've got to do it again afterwards. So try to get the important things done in the first 2 weeks of the month. Doesn't mean to say you can't complete things during Mercury retrograde. So anything you've got started, you can finish up during the retrograde. So people often ask me, oh, is it a bad time now I've already been working on something to take an exam once Mercury goes retrograde? It's fine, as long as you've been working on it prior to Mercury going retrograde. It's just not the best time for jumping into new things. Once it goes direct again, then you start into the new things. It's actually retrograde in your 4th house, so there could be maybe some reevaluation that you need to do in the last 2 weeks of the month concerning your home, your family, your surroundings. Maybe you need to speak out, maybe something needs to be said, maybe there's been some miscommunication, maybe there needs to be a healing of a communication, there's maybe been some harsh words and there needs to be a reconciliation. All these things, or you might be thinking about working from home. You might be coming up with an idea that you could do on the internet and make some extra money. Now, speaking of money, Taurus, because of course your sign rules money. First week of the month, we've got a square from Jupiter to Neptune, from your 11th to your 2nd house of money. So it's important that you are aware of that you don't take any risks with limited resources. Okay, that's the first week of the month, not to have false optimism. But the 2nd and 3rd weeks of the month, we do have Jupiter conjunct Venus in your 2nd house. This can mean a windfall. This can mean some extra money. This can certainly mean a new way of making money. It's usually very financially lucky, and especially falling in your 2nd house, probably will be financially lucky for you. It's good for anything connected with your finances or your relationships. So that's about the middle of the month, mostly. Then we've got Mars opposite Uranus. That's going from your 6th to your 12th houses. And Mars changing sign this month. Mars going from your 5th to your 6th house. Mars is where you put your energy. Mars is where you really want to move forward. And for you, from the 4th of the month, it's in your 6th house. This is a time to do anything proactive connected with your health, your physical health particularly. Could be your diet, could be your exercise, whatever it is. And also a wonderful time to move forward in anything connected with your work. What it is you want to do, or how you want to be of service. Maybe you want to volunteer, maybe help people less fortunate than yourself. We've got a lot going on this month in the home area. I would say some of you may be thinking of moving, may have already moved, may need to change something about your environment. There's going to be some changes in this area. Also, at the end of the month, last week, we've got a trine from Venus to Saturn, from your 2nd to your 6th houses. So this is a wonderful time to reevaluate your work situation. It's careful to not look at your work situation and think it's worse than it actually is. No, it probably isn't, but you certainly need to reevaluate it and look at your relationships in your work situation, the money that you're earning, what you're doing with your money, how you're spending your money or saving your money. All of that is going to come into question, particularly the last week of the month. And now I've got communications. You see, this is what happens the minute you talk about Mercury retrograde. you get an interruption. You get somebody wanting your attention when you really don't want them to be there. So I've lowered that, and I think that fully illustrates Mercury retrograde. It's minor annoyances, not big things. It's petty minor things, like you might be stuck in a traffic jam, you might not make your appointment on time. Those are the kinds of things that can happen during the Mercury retrograde. So there you have it, my dear Taurians. I wish you a great month, and I thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.